The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there a listing of any sort of restrictive content that may appear in the game. However, I do know for a fact that it does include violence, bloodshed, explosions, fire, and the death of people and various animals. So, if I were to guess as to what its rating would be, I would say either teen or mature. So, that being said, viewer discretion is advised, and I recommend that anyone under the age of 13 not watch the following video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Rimworld. So the premise of Rimworld is usually, if you play like a normal person, you're given a bunch of procedurally generated random colonists, and they are sent to a procedurally generated random world, and then you basically build a colony for them to live, survive, and thrive in, as the AI storyteller provided by the game throws scenario after scenario and event after event to slowly kill each and every one of them off. At least that's how most of the people should be playing this game and how they expect you to play this game. I am doing things slightly differently in the fact that I am role-playing my colonists as a highly advanced and heavily armed squad of space marines who have been sent to the planet by their government known as only as the Commonwealth. Yes, but that's beside the point. And they've been sent to this planet to essentially fight the pirate faction as much as they can until they can get access to their evacuation vessel, or evac ship as I believe the official military jargon is. I was never in the military, so don't hold me to that. Which is automatically provided by the game as a default win condition. But basically, you have to travel halfway across the world, sacking pirate settlement after pirate settlement, get to this ship, turn it on, defend it while it powers up, everybody piles in, and then they leave. And if they manage to do that, then I technically win, and if everybody gets slaughtered, then I technically lose. That's pretty much the gist of how I've been playing this particular playthrough. It's been slower going than I would have liked. I may not have given them all the technologies right off the bat that would have allowed them for rapid deployment. Yes, that's also true. But that's neither here nor there, and the only way to go back and fix everything is to reload from an older save. And since it only auto-saves the last 5 days, at this point, if I wanted to start over, I would have to, well, start an entirely new game. Which I'm not planning on doing anytime soon. And unlike most of the games where I plan on doing things in between episodes and simply forgetting to do so, I had no plans of playing this game in between episodes, and Yes, that's largely the main reason. But I digress, and as such, this game is pretty much right where I left it off at, with one slight caveat. If you remember from last episode, one of my colonists was stricken with sickness from a injury that she had taken when fighting an enemy that had attacked the colony. Since treatment wasn't going well and I didn't feel like watching one of my colonists slowly die, I may have reloaded from an earlier save, and while I had thought it had autosaved after the battle, it turns out it hadn't, so that technically didn't happen. So I'm going to be picking it up from somewhere in between where I last left off and a little bit before that. And we'll see if what happens happens. Thing about games that are largely randomized based is you don't really know what's going to happen until it does. But with that out of the way, this game is of course made by. Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Okay, so here we are at FOB or Forward Operating Base Chesling. This is, well, will eventually be, is kind of sort of, almost probably not, my main facility. I do technically have two bases. The other one is Forward Operating Base Antioch. It was a pirate stronghold that I took from the pirates and basically repurposed for my own purposes. If I go to the world map, I started this game here. I attacked this pirate stronghold, took it over, moved on to this pirate stronghold, took it over, and basically took it apart for parts, shipped everything back to Antioch, and when a toxic plume hit, I moved off to Chesling, and this is as far as I've gotten so far. And if I look at quests, the dropship is all the way over here. Like so, just for example, get the route planner to the dropship, or the evac ship, and back all the way to my settlements. Alright, so if they go from the dropship to Chesling, it's going to take 51.4 days, and they're going to go down here and then up and around. And every time I do this route planner, it changes every time. So, if you remember last episode, I believe it took me down this way and then back up and around, whereas this time, it's taking me across and then up. So, yeah, there's that. And as I progress and move around, and eventually I'll figure out which direction I actually want to go, and then I'll actually take that direction. Although, part of me wonders if it's based off of what I choose, like what I choose as the first location. So, like for instance, the last route that I had planned, I had selected from the landed ship to the settlement, whereas now I've chosen from the settlement to the landed ship, and it's now going to take 45.1 days, and it's taking me back down this way again. So I guess it depends upon which one I pick first. And needed. I should also point out that in between last episode and now, the developers of the game put out an update. Their 3.1 update, I believe it is. So if you noticed last episode, all the pirate icons were red and now they're pink. Same with factions. The Kanto Alliance, which is the hostile savage tribe. So the icons for their colors have changed. I'm not quite certain what else has changed. But before I continue on, I should point out that a whole bunch of extra new things to look at. But before I look at that, I should point out that in addition to the landed dropship, there are also a few other extra rules that that I'm having my colonists adhere to. One of those involves quests, and mostly it's basically covers goodwill and royal favor. So, as I said, my colonists are technically space marines working for a government known as the Commonwealth, and one of the rules that I'm having them adhere to is that while they can take quests from other factions, most notably the Lehane Federation, the Camelusi Pact, and the Refugee Empire being the only friendly people on this map, I can't, if I take a job for the Empire, I can't do so for real favor, basically increasing in social status and hierarchy of their government. I can, however, take jobs for stuff, so I managed to reset it so that way any quests that I take from them get me either goodwill or physical goods as opposed to royal favor. Another rule that I have is that I can't go to war with any faction, so if I get a quest that says, someone needs help and they'll give me something I desperately need, but it means I go to war with the Lehane Federation, I can't technically take that quest. Also, while I can fight the Grey Goose Boko and the Kotor Kin League and the Kanto Alliance, my targets are the Black Sinners. So on the route to the landed vessel, I plan on hitting every Black Sinners encampment I can find. I can't actually go out of my way to attack the other three hostile factions. I mean, I can defend myself against them and take quests that hinder or assault them directly or interfere with what they're doing, but I am not supposed to go out of my way to basically burn all of their faction to the ground. And speaking of burning things to the ground, if I do take a settlement or capture a settlement or defeat an enemy settlement, I can't leave anything behind that the enemies could technically come back and then use. So much like with Antioch, if and when I get around to abandoning Antioch, I have to basically take all of the equipment that I have here, deconstruct all the buildings, and remove anything that is man-made here, and then take it with me. And if I can't take it with me, I have to make certain it's destroyed before I leave. I'm pretty sure that's all the crazy and self-hindering rules that I have. If I remember or think of another one that I forgot, I'll try to include it at that point. But on to the new stuff. So it says right now that pen is needed, and some of your tame animals are roamers. If not kept in an animal pen, they will wander away. Create an animal pen by building a pen marker inside a fenced, barricaded, or walled area. Select the pen marker to see which animals it accepts and how many its pen can support. Your animal handlers will bring animals to their assigned pen automatically. The pen needs a door or a gate to admit animals. So basically, all of my animals, I don't know if it counts the pets, will just basically up and wander away if I don't build a pen for them. And because this wasn't a thing in the last episode, I have no pen for them. And I have a ridiculous number of animals. Okay, so it looks like only the horses, the donkeys, the yaks, the alpacas, the buffalo, and the sheep require to be in a pen. The raccoon, various donkey, no, not the various, and the various pets, basically the Labradors and the Huskies, don't need pens, so that's a good sign. So I'm going to need a pen, and if I look at structure, I can apparently build bridges now, and fences. Alright, so apparently, in addition to fences, I also have this thing known as an animal flap, which is apparently just a special door that keeps warm air in and cold air out. So since something tells me I'm going to need a large pile of fencing, alright, so the thing is, I had already built the barn, and yeah, that'll be fine. And I have this field for them to basically graze upon, but this was all before fencing was built, so now I have to accommodate that, and I didn't originally have a plan for it. So my thinking is, if I build this large fence from the barn to their field, in fact, save on wood, just put it here. Just get rid of this section. Put a gate there. Put a gate there. This should hopefully be good enough for all the animals. And they'll have access to the barn through these doors, and this door, I'm hoping they just can't walk out of. And if not, then, well, it's going to be interesting. But zone, where is the... Oh, here, a pen marker. So post with a sign designated an animal pen must be placed in an area enclosed by fences, barricades, walls, and doors. Assign each pen marker a set of animals to accept, and handlers will bring animals to the appropriate pen. Let's just make it out of wood. Okay, so hopefully that will be good enough for the pen, and hopefully they can get that done before I lose too many animals. Although, to be fair, I probably have far more animals than I truly need. But we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, one thing that I was planning on working on was the monument, and this is part of a quest. If I go to the quest, I have 26 days to complete this quest, and I basically have to build this monument for an AI, and once it gets fully built, I get all these lovely and interesting tech prints and other extra stuff. Although, if it gets destroyed, yeah, I then have to protect it for 57 days, and if it gets destroyed, and given my lack of defensive perimeter, I'm fairly certain it would be, toxic fallout hits this area for 2 weeks, killing anything out of doors. So that's going to be an interesting scenario, but that means I just pack up everybody and take everybody back to Antioch. One hidden advantage of having multiple bases. Also, they are working on the barracks area, so that way people don't live in a dirt-floored, blood and puke-stained environment, except Minoka, who tried to run away a couple episodes ago, so we took her prisoner, and I guess we tried to recruit her because her resistance is 0. I'm not quite certain if that's actually what the number actually is, or if it's like, it's 0 now, but in 2 hours game time, which is like 30 seconds, it goes back to whatever ridiculously high number it was. And then I just keep building various extra stuff in and around Chestling, while at the same time trying to take Antioch apart or just, keep it intact until I can get another convoy down here to pack up even more stuff and then start taking everything apart. So that's basically the plan for everything. So let's see what happens. Also, apparently animals are now creating filth, which happens. And so let's not have the animals wander about in... Of course, this isn't technically an allowed area, but because of the new rule, well, the whole pen fenced-in thing, apparently they don't listen to the areas now, so that's going to be interesting. But let us continue, and we'll see how everything goes. As I run out of power. Alright, so Alpaca 40 has started to run away. We'll leave the map unless an animal handler ropes him back to the pen. Same with Alpaca 31. So as I suspected, a lot of my animals, probably all of them, given how long it takes for them to actually build anything major, especially considering they're actually working on the monument first, I'll probably lose pretty much all of them. Stalin 5 has started to roam away. U-28 is pregnant. That's nice. Apparently I got a new recruit, so Minoka is now part of the community again. Good for her. That means I can get rid of this. And the prison is now technically the kitchen again. Goody. So, if you haven't noticed, Chesling does have power issues. Okay, who do I have working on things? So, Lincoln, Mishuto, and Jet are my primary builders. Lincoln is currently gone crazy, so he's just wandering about in a psychotic state. Where is Jet? Is building a sandstone monument, and Mishunto, where is he? Oh, here he is watching the sunset. So you know what? Start working on this fence. Keep working on the fence. And a mechanoids cluster has attacked. So basically the same cluster as before. Just in a different side. So since Lincoln is... Yeah, I'm feeling all of my animals are going to start wandering away. Just simply on account of the fact I have a mech cluster to worry about. So... Oh, and since most of my animals now can't... I can't select their area unless they're in a pen. I can't have them go to the safe areas. But let's get everybody who I can into the safe zones. That way I don't have to worry about them. Like this alpaca, just simply... Actually, this is a wild alpaca, but assuming it would have been one of my alpacas. Now getting into the middle of the combat zone. So this mech cluster looks slightly different. Last time it had a auto charge turret and a mortar and a whole bunch of fun stuff. This time it just has a mech factory as well as a bunch of mechanoids and other turrets and fun things. And there's even less cover here now than there was last time. So let's everybody hide over here, because it's just not active yet. Right, and so Minoka actually is unarmed. Do I have a spare gun for her? I have the sniper rifle. It's better than nothing. Meantime, everybody basically hide behind a rock or a tree. Oh, Yoko. Oh, no, Yoko has a gun. Alright, get down here. And then everybody open up on the turret. Alright, so that's gone. Shoot this thing because it started moving. And now everybody else is up and active, so shoot that. Okay, you're dead now. You go after this one. And now that's gone. Now shoot this. And that's gone. Now shoot this one. And that's gone. Now shoot this. And that's exploded, so now... Who is injured? So Yoko will be dead in 16 hours. Jet is fine. No, he's not fine. He took a needle gun to the right arm, but he's only bruised. Sky took a bruise to the left shoulder, but she's won't bleed out. And Tater also took a bruise. So only Yoko, which took a minigun slugger shot to the torso and right leg, is injured enough to actually bleed out. But I don't have a medical facility at the moment, so I'm just gonna have her go back and rest. And where is Sky? Also have her, because she's technically the doctor of the group, deal with that. And we're just going to come over here and shoot this. Alright, so I'm assuming that's it for the cluster. So just claim all of this stuff. So all this stuff is now mine. Alright, so what's this do? A shielding device which projects a momentum repulsor field. Shots can go out but not in. This one is tuned to low angles, so it will block ground level projectiles like bullets. You can be temporarily disabled by EMP attacks, either by shocking projector at you itself, or using EMP munitions on the shield. Whereas this is a self-powered mechanoid node of unknown function. Mech nodes can be deconstructed to yield valuable resources, but only if they are captured intact. The internal microparasol will flame out and ruin the materials if the unit takes too much damage, and it's at 20%, so I'm assuming it is. So it doesn't seem like it has much in the way of function, so let's just take that apart. And I can't really do anything with this, so let's take this apart as well. Then everybody undrafts and goes about their day. On plus side, Lincoln's no longer stir crazy, so... Where is Sky? What's she doing? Sky is tending to Yoko. And Chief is now fully healed. And there is now a heat wave. Okay. Where? I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyway, one place is also low on food. And since Chesling has a fridge that looks like this... Yes, I know, puke and blood, a it's practically everywhere. I need somebody to clean up, and the only person that generally cleans is Blue, and she is asleep at Antioch. But Antioch is running low on food. It also apparently has a busted cooler, but one of the many, many things I have issues with is lack of components. Alright, so... they're going to need food, so if I look at wildlife, there's an ibex doe right here, that's unconscious. Actually, apparently in the middle of hunting quite a few things. Just add these bucks and does to the list as well. We'll skip the alpaca, but add this turkey and this tortoise and these raccoons. Put the boom rats for now. Doesn't look like there are any predators right here. Although there is a mega sloth and a bunch of rhinoceroses and an old muffalo of mine that went wild. So hopefully while they're low on food, they'll go hunting, and they do have some carcasses here and some meals, so hopefully they'll end up being okay. I'm not certain if I mentioned this, but when I last reloaded between last mission and this mission, it wasn't just before the mech cluster attack, it was also before the natives of the Kanto Alliance attacked Antioch. But they attacked again. They attacked in three waves. Basically, it was more people than last time, and I managed to take one of them alive. That one is... I can't even pronounce this. Hakuja? Hakuja? I'm going to pronounce it Hakuja. Why is that door broken? Oh yeah, they broke through the building. So, that's why he's there. So Ram 22 has started to ram away. I have a feeling they're all going to do that. And speaking of animals, let's get all the pets out of the safe area. That way they don't starve to death. I mean, they did technically spend the night. Alright, so I just have barely enough power to power everything. Alpaca 18 has started to roam away. The ewes have given birth. Another alpaca is pregnant. Several of them, actually. Someone is healed. Okay, so she healed herself. To be fair, I wasn't paying much attention to anybody but Yoko. And Minoko is sleeping on the floor because I do not have a bed for her just yet. That's odd. I could have sworn I had a blueprint for everything here. Okay, so an identical thing already exists there. There. The table goes here. Dresser goes there. Alright, and once the singleton beds are done, I can start moving people in. Right, so Lincoln's working on the buildings. Trade caravan from the Lehane Federation is leaving. I was unaware that there's a trade caravan here at all. I think there actually was, but the only people here were injured, and they didn't really have anything I wanted anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. So Lincoln's consuming a simple meal while building furniture. Bushuto is shearing a sheep, because in addition to being a builder, he is also an animal handler. And Jet is resting. So no one's working on the monument. More animals have started to run away, and Jets is now fully healed. So he's going to build a fence. And now he's going back to building the grand structure, which he apparently just finished. Or somebody just finished, so... Okay, so this double bed is unowned, and... Who else do I have that's married? Okay, so Ophelia and Lincoln are married, but they already have a bed. Hercules and Sky are married, but they already have a bed. Stanislav... Tater has a lover, and Tater and Bowman are lovers, but Bowman is off at Antioch because she's my primary researcher, and my only research bench I have is still at Antioch because I haven't built the crafting hall yet. Stanislav and Yoko are married, and they already have a bed. Mishinto is single. Jet is single. Sky is married to Hercules. Minoka is single. And Yoko is married to Stanislav. So the only other married couples that I know of are Chief and Blue, who are at Antioch anyway. And then Bowman and Tater are lovers, but they're at 2 different facilities. So I'll give this one, if I can select the bed, to Tater. And eventually, once Bowman moves to this base, she'll be here as well. And then this one, I guess, will be for Chief and Blue. So, are people just not working on the fencing for the pen? I guess not, but everything I have built for the monument is done right now, so... I mean, he's playing horseshoes. Ophelia, I guess, is cooking, I guess? I don't know. But it's nighttime, and we know it's nighttime because we have a power shortage. At least until the sun lamps turn off, at which point I can generate a small amount of extra power. I think. And the animals will keep wandering away until it comes nappy time, at which point they all just pile in the barn like a massive flowing thing. But by then, everybody else is asleep, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And someone, Blue basically, is suffering from heat stroke because their cooler is offline. And they're also out of power. So what I'm going to do is build passive coolers, but they require wood. Now I'll put one in here as well, just because they're all interconnected by vents. But apparently I need wood now, so where is some good wood to chop? Apparently that's it, that's all that's over there. It doesn't really help that, the toxic plume that they had at Antioch basically wiped out all the old growth forests. So there's nothing real I can do until they get wood and build the passive cooler, so I'm going to have to wait until that gets done. But since everybody's asleep, that's not going to get done anytime soon. Apparently I still have a few baby sheep just wandering about. I guess those were the ones that were just born. Apparently an animal is starving. A husky puppy is starving. Well, I have plenty of kibble. Apparently, can have pet sleeping areas be assigned to animals now. And more animals have started to wander away because, again, pen not built. Alright, so now that everybody's essentially awake and active, oh, they built a couple of the beds. And they've already taken to assigning themselves to beds, which I'm fine with. Of course, I'd be more fine if they would actually finish the pen, but right now I guess they're building the furniture because that was next in the queue. So I guess the animal handlers just basically play tag with all the animals that just simply up and wander away. And on a plus note, I had more cloth to put in carpeting. Alright, so the prisoner is no longer incapable of wandering, or moving, I should say. So he's just going to wander about in his little makeshift pen area up until he tries to break out, and probably won't be paying attention and will miss it completely. I generally focus more on Chesling than I do Antioch, although it looks like Jet's building the fencing, so that's good. There's just a ridiculously large pile of fencing to build. Alright, and this pen marker, I just have it flagged for everybody right now. Huh. That's interesting. Apparently the pen marker will tell me exactly how much food I have in said pen, and apparently I can select it to auto-cut things, so... But in order to have that function, I have to actually build the pen first, which is a work in progress. Assuming, of course, they just don't build carpeting. On the plus side, all the major furniture is done. Well, apparently I have more cloth now. Now, I wonder if... Straw matting. I can apparently build straw matting now. Rough straw matting used in the animal barns. It's cheap and accepts very little filth. Right, apparently they can only actually build carpet using cloth. My one thought is they changed it slightly so that way I can use any type of fur or cloth-like material, like sheep's wool or buffalo wool and the like to build carpeting, but no, apparently it's still just cloth. And more of the calves are trying to wander away because they're focusing on the barrack plans instead of the barn. But these plans are older, so I guess they default to those first. And ground penetrating scanner has been researched. So now, in addition to the drills the deep drills that I have, where I can just simply dig up resources out of the ground, the scanner should technically tell me where they are, although apparently it requires advanced components to construct. So I need to do more research on things, and I'm pretty much stuck right here because in order to proceed on to here, I need a multi-analyzer, which requires resources I don't actually have very many of any right now. So... No, let's go with the moisture pump. So the moisture pump slowly basically pulls moisture out of the ground, can turn wet ground dry, and convert soft sand into normal sand. So basically, if you remember when I was putting the fence down, I had an issue that I couldn't build here because this is mud.
the moisture pump would basically turn this mud. No. The moisture pump would basically turn this mud into regular dirt, I believe, and then I could actually build there, so that's one thing. Huh. They actually do go out and grab everybody. Rare Thrumbros are wandering about. I'm fine with that. So long as they decide to remain peaceful and summer has begun, I'm perfectly fine with them just sitting around. And I forgot completely about Antioch. I had hoped that they would chop down some wood to build the coolers, the passive coolers, but as I said, I wasn't paying much attention and I ignored Antioch completely, as normal. Alright, so why this alpaca has decided to sleep here as opposed to the barn, I don't actually know. But it is. So Hercules and Sky have a nice little small pet, which is basically pooping all over their nice carpeted floor. Wait, what was that? Somebody died due to heat stroke. I don't think it was one of my people, otherwise a whole bunch of alarm bells would have gone off. And apparently, I forgot to install an AC unit into the prison, although I did include a heater. And Hayakaju, the prisoner, has died. Alright, okay. You're not going to be cutting stone blocks, you're going to be harvesting this tree. So that way we have wood to build passive coolers. And there is now a raid from the something mech hive has arrived nearby. They are attacking immediately. These raiders intend to breach your walls, determine their own path into your colony, and destroy anything in their way. Watch out, they appear to be unusually clever with their tactics. They'll avoid your turrets, fields of fire, and notice some of your traps. Luckily, once again, it's at Cheslin. And there is a new type of mechanoid, the termite, which is a medium-sized mechanoid. Termites specialize in burrowing, digging, and breaking through defensive structures. Defense can decide whether to try to eliminate the termite before it can dig through the defenses, or to take it when it emerges. So apparently they dig underground. Armed with a thump cannon, which is a breaching explosive launcher used by mechanoids. Fires concussion bomb that is extremely effective against walls and structures, does much less damage to small targets. So I'm guessing not people. There's also 3 lancers, 4 lancers, and a pikeman. Okay then. Alright, so they're coming from here, so everybody here. You 3 have started to wander away. What animals I got? Get to the safe area. Now, one of these days, I'll actually build defenses around Chesling. And they're coming down here. Alright, so there goes one. There's 2. Looks like one of them may have dropped a component. That's nice. 3 are down. Cannot hit target. I guess that's fine. That's 4. Somebody's been taken out.
Oh, Lincoln lost his entire right leg. Okay then. This guy gets to rescue him because he's going to be dead in 7 hours. Everybody else keeps fighting. So kind of take out that guy. Now everybody goes here, or whoever's left, runs straight up to the termite. And just opens fire. And it's dead. Okay then. So apparently there's a fire now. What is on fire? Fire's at Antioch. Because it's a dry thunderstorm. Okay. So in the meantime, Hercules is taking some hits, but he'll live. Stanislav also apparently has his right leg shot off. Shinto has taken a gunshot to the left foot, but he should be fine. This guy is in no immediate danger. Minoka's no immediate danger, although apparently all this stuff has happened to her. Apparently her right lung and right pinky have been destroyed, so apparently that concussion bomb apparently does quite a bit of damage. And then Yoko is in no immediate danger. So his right leg has been shot off and he can still walk. That is interesting. Guess maybe it's a crawling motion. A combat supply from the Lehane Federation has arrived. Okay. Just get that out of the ground, or off the ground. Okay, so Lincoln is no longer in any immediate danger. Who else was bleeding out? I guess whoever else was bleeding out. Yeah, okay, so he's fine. What's this icon here? Colonist is considered guilty. You can freely banish, execute, or arrest him, and others won't be bothered. What is he guilty of? What did he do? Apparently they can wander around with while missing one leg. But I'm having a major break risk of Tater, and there's fires because this is also a dry thunderstorm. And more alpacas and more people are trying to run away. So where are these guys going? But they're just beating the fire out. Tater is having a tantrum. He's going to break things in his room. Okay. He's also flagged as guilty for some reason. Weird. Anyway, who has the highest social ability? Technically, Hercules has 12. Tater's currently on a crazy binge, so might as well not consider him at all. Yeah, so I guess Hercules. Okay, so what do you have? Hercules cannot talk poorly because of poor health. Okay. mean, they got a bunch of weapons, mostly bows and melee weapons. But that's really all they got. So, I'm good. So what's with all the banging, but Tater's angry, so... What is he angry about again? He's recreation starved, okay. But he broke his dresser, among other things. Well, he actually broke an end table, I think. But he's no longer angry, so... Just pop in a new end table and go from there. Have they completed any more of the fencing? No, they have not. There's also an exotic goods trader now. Oh, it's a trade ship. Okay. Monument's missing components. Well, I have a few other things that I'm more worried about than just simply... Is his charge rifle still on the ground over here? Yes, it is. So apparently it can still walk with the leg being completely shot off. So I'm guessing it's just the bones were completely destroyed, but apparently it can still put weight on it. And there's a whole bunch of components here. At least now it's raining. Or are they beating fires out over there? I wonder to flag this whole area as the home location. Unless it did it by default. In which case I'm just going to leave it be. I don't know why the computer did it that way, or there's like no rhyme or reason to it, but for right now, something tells me if I mess with it, something will happen that I didn't notice, and then things will go poorly. And Yoko's now having a tantrum. Because she's hungry. At least she was, apparently. She's going to be dead in 22 hours. Why did I not see that? Go rest until healed. Stanislav has gone berserk because he's drowsy. So he's just going to attack a sheep. And he beat a ewe to death. Okay. That's annoying. And a rhinoceros is being harmed. Stanislav is just going toe-to-toe with everything, isn't he? Alright. Anybody who isn't injured or isn't Sky, show up here. Haul Stanislav's broken corpse back to base. Of course, now they're just going to come for the rest of my people. So everybody back over here. And I didn't put the animal... No, the animals are back in the pet area. Someone's starving. Yoko is starving. Alright, tend to Yoko. And while the rest of these guys will take out the remaining rhinoceroses. And huskies are miscarrying because for some reason they're not eating anything. Okay, you're now down. Just hunt you. Just hunt you. Come back over here. Is he bleeding out or is he just lying on the ground? No, he's just lying on the ground. Okay. Let him sit there for now. While he thinks about what he's done. He probably won't. This game isn't like that. And shoot that! Okay. Go back to hunting that. Everybody's good. Maybe. Or you'll be dead in 21 hours. Okay, so this whole constantly beating fires out is starting to... Well, starting to annoy me, truth be told, because they're not going to be doing anything else until they get done. So, I don't know if this will actually affect anything, or if I did this manually and didn't realize it. But let's cut back on the home location. Alright, so hopefully they don't beat every fire on the map out. Alright, so she's just going to try to eat food. Rest until healed. You rescue him. You haul the sheep. You take Stanislav's gun back. Alright, so what's the medical emergency? Mushinto. What's his problem? He's in no immediate danger, but he's still suffering from blood loss. Where is Sky and why isn't she tending him? Tend to Mushinto. You can sleep when no one's in danger of dying. And a Labrador puppy has died because they no longer have food to eat. Some strange reason. I'm guessing that has something to do with the fact that there is no raw materials to make kibble with, because I am not paying attention. So let us expand the pet area into the fridge so that way they have something to eat. Alright, what is there to hunt? Bison, thrumbos, a couple of random yaks, some random alpaca, including a few of my own. Some random yak calves. So let's hunt these alpaca, the ones that don't have numbers by their names. And these turkeys and tortoises and these raccoons. We'll not hunt the boom rats because I don't think it's raining anymore. And these hares. And these rats. And these squirrels. And we'll try to tame these yak calves as well as calf 9 and 4 and alpaca 17. And we're out of power again. Bored because they have nothing to play with. This the heatwave is done with, I think. Never did get around to doing the passive coolers, so let's just get rid of them. I think they did cut the plants, but very little wood was made. On the plus side, there's a whole bunch. They gathered a whole bunch of cloth and finished the carpeting on most of the rooms. So did anybody? No, that corpse is still there. Okay. Okay, since you're right there, prioritize building the grave. How can you fail in building a grave? It's literally a hole. One thing I dislike about having all of these messages here is that they get in the way of trying to select colonists. But she's sleeping. Bowman is also sleeping. So Jenny gets the dubious honor of burying the dead. Except she doesn't haul anything, so I guess Bowman stops resting and buries the dead guy. And because there was a heat wave and the cooler, I guess, ran out of power, these two animals rotted away. But now they have plenty of food. What little that matters. Okay. Well, they finished this fence. Jet is at least working on fencing. Okay, cool. Would ask how much wood I have, but I believe the answer is a ridiculously large pile. That's what happens when you take apart an entire settlement that's comprised pretty much mainly of wood. Where is Jet going now? Oh, he's consuming a simple meal. Okay. And Yoko now has a corpse obsession. Because she's recreation starved. So, once the fencing and the monument are done, I guess I'm building the rec center. And somebody's throwing a party. Lou is throwing a party. Good for her. Apparently they're doing it in the old monument. Which is another thing that I built for somebody else. Okay. Where did Jet go? I want to make certain that... I know you want to relax socially, but let's try to... Why is Minoka having heat stroke? Oh, it's 95 degrees out. Okay. If you're having heat stroke, don't stay in the heat. Priority is finishing the fence. At least this chunk of it, if you would be so kind. And this portion of the fence. And this portion of the fence. And this portion of the fence. And... oh, that's everything you already laid out. And, you know, anything else you'd have to go back and grab wood for. So... hopefully the fence will get finished by tomorrow. Why is Minoka and Mashinto sleeping there? I thought they had beds. Alright, so... give Minoka this one. And Mushuto this one. And that way, just get rid of these two sleeping spots. Alright, Yoko is still corpse obsessed. Where did she leave that corpse, by the way? Oh, I'm sure I'll eventually find a random skeleton somewhere. That or they reburied it. Where did I put... no, I would say, where did I put the gravesite? But that one's still empty. So somewhere, there's a skeleton just lying about. Okay. That makes about as much sense as anything else. Okay, so a combat medic named Felix has arrived and wants to join the colony. He's willing to contribute, but will not leave voluntarily, claiming to have nowhere else to go. You can choose to turn him down and send him away. However, your colonists will be disturbed by sending someone away in need. I mean, okay, where is he? That's Felix. Pause it real quick. Okay. So he has a knife. Not very helpful with handle everything. But so he's not very artistic or social. Not very good at shooting things, like stabbing things apparently. He has a passion for construction, minor passion for crafting, and passionate for medicine, so I have a new healer, so okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. Work schedules as followed. Everybody firefights and patients first. I also get bed rest and does basic things. And then anything that they're also passionate about gets set to 2. You know, he's passionate about constructing, so that'll get set to 1. Anything... no, you don't have spare range weapons, so I'll leave that blank for now. Anything that has... oh, and hauling and cleaning is set to 1. Anything that's already at 3 is set to 2. And then anything that shows up in a red box is set to 4. Anything else that isn't in a red box is set to 3. But I'll leave hunting blank because, again, I don't have a spare ranged weapon as far as I know. I mean, there is Stanislav's old charge rifle, but as far as I'm concerned, that goes back to Stanislav once I manage to find it, unless it's still sitting out in the wilderness, and it doesn't look like it. Okay. On the plus side, they harvested a whole pile of cyclewood leaves. Probably should not have bothered with the cyclewood leaves. Oh, there's this charge rifle. a charge rifle. So apparently it's at 100%, and it's a normal quality. The one that he had was at 73%, so I don't think that's his original charge rifle, but it is a charge rifle. So I'll have him equip it. And that's the only charge rifle in here. But hopefully the fencing will get finished sooner rather than later, especially with somebody new building. And all my animals are trying to run away because they know what's going to happen. And we have another visitor. Caravaner from the Camelusi Pact is visiting the colony. She seems to have some items for sale. And they finished researching the moisture pump. Alright, well, since everybody seems to be recreation starved and deprived, let's start building them things to that they might enjoy, basically musical instruments. And what do you have to trade? Once you know he's done leading the animal back. Everybody's injured. What else is new? They apparently have a shield pack, but very little else. Some herbal medicine, which I have quite a bit of. Some food, which they probably need. And some drugged tea. Everything else I can sell them. But that's really about it. So nothing that I really want. Alright, so it looks like the only last piece of fence is this thing. And where are you going? Repairing power conduit. Hauling wood to fence. And blue has inspired creativity. Finish the fence. Okay, the fence is now done. Okay, so it flags the pen as this area. That is good to know. So I apparently have 42 sheep, 9 alpaca, 3 yak, 1 buffalo, 2 donkey, and a horse. Okay. Interesting. Cool. So I'm guessing these are all the animals in, so that can't be 43 sheep. U5 has started to wander away. And 18 has started to wander away. I would ask, if the fence is not complete, can they still wander about in, can they still re-enter the pen? I'm guessing they can, because they can normally... Apparently they can't actually wander back in. That is weird. Alright, potato plant has died from rotting. Okay, as everything at Antioch slowly breaks down. Did they ever pick up those components that were here? Alright, so I got 23 components available. That's always nice. Means I can build things that require components. Of course, with the fence done, let's put in some more solar panels, just so that way we have a greater charge during the day, and maybe the batteries can finally get done, as well as the monument. Oh, that's where the corpse went. Just put in the flooring. No, that's the sandstone. Rebury that guy. And a gazelle has self-tamed. Okay then. Don't really need animals in Antioch. So now, if everyone would be so kind as to get the remaining animals into the pen. Apparently they're just gathering everybody up and just herding them in, which I'm fine with. As long as they get in the pen. And Sky is now confused because she had dementia from a ridiculously long time ago. And they finished researching the harp, so let's just move on to the harpsichord. And Sky is no longer confused. Zone 1 has started to roam away. So you know what, let's just eat it. I don't have a pen here, and I don't feel like building a pen. And Stanislav is having a temper tantrum because he's in poor mood, and he has started to basically attack various things. He's breaking my supplies. Okay. Why did it slow down? That was actually kind of weird. Now there's a fire. So now are all my animals in the pen? Pen. Yep, it looks like it. Gram 30's been injured too. Gram's been a burn on the nose and right front leg. Alright, so this has been interesting. Progress has been made, and not so much where I wanted it made, but the sandstone grand steles have been made, and they have also art. So this one is called Wisdom of Terror. An engraving on this furniture shows a dart. The scene takes place in the middle of a village. The work seems to represent fellowship. Whereas this one is entitled Fever. This furniture is engraved with the depiction of a grassland. The Romanesque style of the central scene clashes with the surrealist depiction of the background. I believe the phrase is, I don't know what, I may not know art, but I know what I like, and I have absolutely no clue. So, as I said, progress has been made. I had hoped that they'd at least finish a larger portion of the monument that they did, since all the major furniture pieces are done. I'm now having them work on the floor. So apparently, I also have to put in columns as well. So, put those two columns in. I don't know if there are any other columns that are needed. I really can't see because of the flooring blueprints. But once the floor is done, and the columns and anything else that I might need, then I can build the wall, and I should hopefully be good in time for the quest, before the quest auto fails in 19 days. However, the major progress that was made was the animal pen, on account of the new update. Means that I now have to build a pen and keep all of my non-pet-like animals in a pen. So that should actually be helpful in keeping them nice, safe, and protected, and hopefully away from predators. Because I'm chronically having random predatory animals like foxes, well, not foxes, but wolves and bears and all that fun stuff just show up and eat a sheep right where I'm not paying attention. And by the time I can get anybody over to save said sheep, they're already lunch. So, new fun thing usually happens with the updates. Oh, they even finished one solar generator. It's always nice when I have all the components I need to actually build things. But, so now that the pen is complete, the next thing that I'm hoping they get finished is the monument, so that way I can get the stuff and not fail it. I also have to finish the carpeting in the barracks, but that requires cloth, which is currently growing. And then I need them to build the rec room, which is going to be up here. And then the hospital, which I'm planning on here. That way I can stop using this as a hospital and turn it into a dining hall. Probably actually cover the dining hall and kitchen, maybe even the fridge with flooring, so that way nothing lies on dirt. And then there's also the crafting hall and the armory, as well as the prison and the outer defense, which I probably should have been one of the first things to get built, even especially considering I'm role-playing these guys as a military unit. And on top of that, I still have to finish decommissioning the whole of Antioch, which, if Colonists, the other pirate stronghold, the one that was up here, taught me anything, it takes a longer time than I expect to actually take everything apart. And Colonists wasn't as developed as Antioch eventually ended up being. So that's going to be an issue and fun thing onto itself. Hopefully I can get Antioch done, well, Chessling fully developed and Antioch decommissioned without too much hassle. But this is Rimworld, where everything is random and your guess is, I would say, as good as mine, but since it's all randomized, it doesn't really matter. But all of that is going to be another issue for another day, because I'm going to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.